الآن سأعطي الكلمة للسيدة سو يانغ شوي رئيسة قسم الإدماج والسلام والتنمية المستدامة بقطاع التربية باليونسكو، والتي بالمناسبة أحيي كل العمل التي أشرفت عليه في سياق إعداد أدوات العمل والوثائق المرجعية والتوجيهية في مجال الوقاية من التطرف العنيف، وأخص بالذكر الوثيقة المتعلقة بدليل مساعدة المدرسين على الوقاية من التطرف العنيف، والدليل الآخر المتعلق بمساعدة القادة وأصحاب القرار في المجال التربوي، وقد كانت لنا فرص طيبة للتعامل معها في إطار التعاون بين المملكة المغربية واليونسكو التي كانت من الدول السباقة إلى إعداد مقاربة مندمجة وتربوية للوقاية من التطرف العنيف. فالكلمة للسيدة سو.
Thank you.
J'ai proposé qu'on puisse enchaîner les interventions principales avant de donner la parole à la salle.
Thank you, Chairman, for giving me the opportunity. I would have liked to go down on the floor as well to be on the same eye level, but just being a small person, just in case you cannot see me once I'm down there, so allow me to stand here. Now, as the Chairman said, last year we developed a guide, which is called Guide for the Teachers on Prevention of Violent Extremism, and it exists in Arabic, French, English, and also in Russian. So now, the presentation that I'm going to share with you is from a guide that we are developing again for the policymakers. The guide that I just mentioned, it was for the teachers. Now we are developing a more comprehensive guide for education stakeholders in a broad sense. Now, I'm going to make a few, we have prepared a few slides. These slides are from the guide that we are preparing. And then I'm going to make my presentation in the form of question and answers. Now, we do have our questions, but I have to admit at front, we don't have answers. Now, the answers or the responses that I'm sharing with you today are the answers that we are exploring. And I'd like to take this opportunity to explore together with you. So I just want to share with you in advance that the kind of answers that we provided here to the questions that we propose are the answers we are exploring. It's not descriptive answers. Now, the first question is, let me just supposed to flip. What should be the realistic purpose of education against violent extremism? It's so easy to say, yes, we have to do something about violent extremism and an education can do something about it. But my question to you and my question to me is, are we really sure that education can do something about this? So my question here is that what should be the realistic purpose? Obviously, education cannot solve the whole problem. And then it can solve some, but not all. But in that case, what is the realistic purpose of education to prevent violent extremism? Now, here I just want to start saying that no preventive measures can guarantee 100% success. It is challenging to prevent, let alone stopping someone from performing a violent extremist act. Now, here is our position. Here is our position for the time being, that education can help remove the breeding ground. This is the key word. We are not, in the education sector, we are not talking about the extremist violence act. And I don't think that I can do anything about it, to be honest with you, or the education sector at the country level. But education can do about removing the breeding ground for the formation of a violent extremist mindset. That is, I think, we can do and achieve through education. Now, talking about the breeding ground, what do we mean by breeding ground? There are so many things, and I think in the guide that we are developing, you can see some other more details. But let me highlight here just one thing for the sake of the debate for today. That is, it is an environment that does not promote, that does not recognize diversity. If there is one key word that I would like you to take home or take for the debate here, is the diversity, respect for diversity, recognition for the diversity. If there is no room for recognition of a diversity, there's no room for differences, there is no room for dialogue. Environment that condones and supports the use of force, the violence as a means of a solution. There are different means of solutions, but if this is condoned and if this is supported, then there is no room for other means such as dialogue and democratic process. What are the needed education measures? You talk to 10 people, 100 people, you will come up with 100 answers. Now, this is one of the key aspects of the education measures that is needed is this one. Education policy, curriculum, school environment that promote inclusion and, again, respect for diversity, which we believe are conducive to inculcating belongingness, empathy, sympathy, and solidarity afterwards, tolerance, pluralistic perspective, respect for democratic process and dialogue. You can forget about all other words here, but I would like you to just to focus on the highlighted in red, inclusion and respect. This should be the basic principle that needs to be reflected in education policy, curriculum, teacher training, and all other aspects. Now, I have said that that is what should be done, that is what we want to achieve and aim for, but where are we? Now, just to give an idea of where we are, I'd like to share with you this one very important set of data that we have. This is a result that we got from responses from the member states, official responses from the member states, 57 countries. 57 out of almost 200 is not too big number. So I would like you to be careful in generalizing what you see here. But nevertheless, this is the responses that we got from the member states. Now, what this graph says here, in global citizenship education, that's one of the concepts that we are promoting in education, there are different aspects that we promote within that concept. We categorize those aspects into 3 groups. Something related to peace and nonviolence, something related to human rights and freedom, something related to diversity and tolerance. What we have found from the responses that came from the member states, countries are more comfortable reflecting principles related to such universal values as peace and freedom and human rights than the principle of diversity and tolerance. Now, what does it mean? It means basically this: promoting respect for diversity and tolerance, which requires an effort of accepting what is different from who you are and how you do things, seems to be more challenging for the education sector than promoting universal, so-called feel-good, right, politically correct concepts such as peace, nonviolence, human rights, and freedom. This is a challenge. This is a big challenge. The schools, in other words, they have no problem promoting the principle of peace and human rights or whatever, but they have a difficulty promoting actively and proactively the principle of accepting the difference and respect the diversity. And this is where we are. And this must be changed. You ask me how? I do not know. I'm working. Now, we talked about just what needs to be done at the level of the education system and within the education system. But now I'm talking about something what needs to be done in the minds of the student. I'm going into the mind of the student. What is the best defense against the violent extremism which can be built in the minds of the students? If you ask me, there is just one thing, that's resilience. Ability, what do we mean by resilience? It's an ability not to fall prey into simple black and white messages. How? Critical thinking will be important, social-emotional development will be important, but this is a big challenge. We still do not have the answer, the recipe to how to build resilience, in other words, stopping students from falling into the simple black and white message. There are some pedagogical recommendations which I have highlighted, but again, there are no guarantees that they will have 100% guarantee. Now, finally, I think it is also very, very important. We talked about what needs to be done at the system level, what needs to be done at the student level, what needs to be done now between the student and school. There is only one thing, trust. Trust on the part of the students, they have to trust, they have the full conviction that school is a safe place for debate, even on taboo issues. This is something that we've been promoting so much in this, and also the the guide that we are promoting. It's just not a debate on so-called safe subjects. School should be a safe place to talk about so-called taboo issues. School should be free of stigmatization, exclusion, and violence. Now, if there is no trust, it will be very difficult for the education authorities to exercise their authority. On the part of the students, if you have no trust for the system that you are working in, you have no reason to respect whatever it says. This is the end of my presentation, and the details can be also, for more information, you can find in this intersectoral website that we have on the prevention of violent extremism. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Merci, Madame Soo Hyang. Vous l'avez bien dit, il n'y a pas de recette magique, mais je tiens tout de même à vous remercier pour les questions pertinentes que vous avez bien voulu partager avec la salle, mais aussi pour la précision conceptuelle indispensable à toute approche pédagogique à la prévention de l'extrémisme violent.